Coming up, Iowa teen pleads guilty to first-degree murder and is facing life in prison. And later, new developments could come from the upcoming construction in Iowa City.
Women's basketball falls hard to Maryland.
Another Midwest winter storm is hitting Iowa City.
This is DITV News at 8:30. Good morning and thank you for tuning in live to DITV and KRUI 89.7 FM. I'm Johnny Valtman. There's a storm headed once again towards Iowa City. David Consuelos is here to tell us more.
Thanks, Johnny. In true Midwest fashion, a winter storm is once again sweeping across the upper Midwest. Winter Storm Olive, who is an uninvited guest from the Rockies, is dumping large amounts of snow all across the northern Midwest, with Minnesota and Wisconsin expecting more than a foot of snow dropped on their doorstep. Local Iowa officials have issued a weather advisory from 9 a.m. this morning to 6 p.m. tomorrow due to a mix of freezing rain and sleet that will be accompanied with winds up to 45 miles per hour. Today we'll see a high of 35 degrees with rain and freezing rain lasting all day. Tonight won't be much different as the rain will continue and only drop a couple of degrees down to 30. The rain will luckily stop tomorrow with a high of 36. And back to you, Johnny.
Thanks, David. President Joe Biden continues his visit to Europe just a year after Russia invaded Ukraine. DITV Assistant News Director Julia Richards has more.
President Biden visited Poland yesterday to deliver a passionate speech regarding the continuing war between Russia and Ukraine. President Biden repeatedly said Western support is strengthening as Putin continues an attack on democracy.
Brutality will never grind down the will of the free. And Ukraine will never be a victory for Russia. Never.
The United States, along with other Western nations, have steadily increased their aid to Ukraine in an effort to put an end to the war. However, Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky wants to see more, as Russia has recently made gains in the east of Ukraine. The new weaponry the United States and other nations have sent include long-range missiles, Patriot air defense systems, and new vehicles. This is Julia Richards, DITV.
Thanks, Julia. And an Iowa teen has been sentenced to life in prison for a school shooting last year. Now, DITV News Director Ashley Wheel has more.
The truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Romeo Perdomo is the first of 10 to plead guilty to first-degree murder after the drive-by shooting outside of East High School in Des Moines occurred March 7th of last year. Perdomo is currently 17 years old, but is being charged as an adult. In the shooting, Jose Lopez Perez was killed. In Perdomo's court appearance, he apologized and claimed he did not intend to hit anyone with his gunfire. He just wanted to scare the crowd.
It's too late because I don't get anything out of it. That's not bringing my son back.
More of the teens involved are expected to be sentenced in the following weeks. This is Ashley Wheel for DITV.
Thanks, Ashley. And Iowa City is currently in the process of phasing out its largely diesel-powered bus fleet and is looking into replacing them with electric or low-emission buses in the future. Of the 27 buses in use by the city, only 4 are currently electric. Before any more buses are purchased, the city transportation facilities must be upscaled to accommodate them, as it can only hold 4 more of the electric buses at the moment. To combat this, the city is looking into securing funding to build a new facility on the Public Works campus, which would cost around $25 million. Now let's check back in with David again for more of your upcoming forecast. David?
Thanks, Johnny. Looking at the week ahead following today's storm, Friday we'll see a high of 28 with a low of 18, so make sure to bring a coat and be cautious traveling to class due to the icy sidewalks and streets. Luckily, the weekend will see temperatures jump back up to the 40s and the sun will start to peek out once more, with Saturday having a high of 43 and Sunday a high of 49. On Monday, the sun will take a brief break as we will see steady rain and clouds and a high of 49. Next Tuesday, the sun will return as warmer weather will continue in the high of the 40s. Back to you, Johnny.
Thank you, David. And in the Iowa legislature, Iowa lawmakers are looking for more solutions to provide direction regarding cyber threats and attacks. Cyber attacks are on the rise with a 28% increase in the end of 2022. Education, healthcare, and government are currently the biggest targets for these kind of attacks. In the Iowa House and Senate Technology Committees, they are focusing on the creation of a cybersecurity incident response task force, as well as a statewide cybersecurity plan for all of Iowa's agencies. The Burlington Street Bridge, which connects the east and west side of the University of Iowa campus, is undergoing plans to be reconstructed in 2028. However, there are new plans and hopes to come out of this construction plan. Daily Iowa News reporter Isabella Folan is in the newsroom with more.
That's right. City Engineer Jason Havel told me that the city has been eyeing potentially modifying the Burlington Street Dam while they are reconstructing the Burlington Street Bridge. The modifications will hopefully improve public safety and draw visitors to the Iowa River and the city by extension by enticing them with a recreational aquatic site such as a whitewater park. However, the construction of a recreational site on the Iowa River could lead to some environmental issues, such as people bringing in pollutants to the water while they are at the recreational site. There has yet to be any detailed discussions with the necessary partners for this project, which are the University of Iowa and the Iowa DOT. So as of now, these modifications are in the very early preliminary planning stages. Though this project would most likely take place alongside the Burlington Street Bridge replacement project, so there's still plenty of time for details to be worked out and possibly finalized.
Thanks, Isabella. This afternoon, the All Majors Career Fair will be held in the Iowa Memorial Union. The fair focuses on recruiting students from all majors to internships and full-time job positions. Students should dress business casually or professionally and should bring their student ID and their updated resume. Students can also get a photograph taken at the Lincoln booth on the second floor. No pre-registration is required for the event. February is Black History Month, and the University of Iowa has a couple more upcoming events left as the month begins to wrap up. This Friday, there will be an event called the Black Creative Project Reveal at the Afro-American Cultural Center, where students will be able to come and contribute to a collective piece of art that will be shown to the public. On Saturday, there will be Black in Business Networking Dinner, which will feature Black professionals that students can connect with and see representation in their fields. The final event of the month, Monday Movie Mayhem, will be held on the 27th, where the movie Black Is, Black Ain't will be shown at the Film Scene Chauncey location. A UI Senior and TRU Coffee in Iowa City are collaborating to promote thrifting and self-expression through a fashion show. Graduating senior Gerard Valentin is the driving force behind the event, which is aimed to promote secondhand clothing and expressing oneself through style with the theme Come As You Are. Chang has already held open calls for potential models, yet all are encouraged to show off their style at the show, which will take place early March at the TRU Coffee in downtown Iowa City. Now let's send it over to sports with Sam.
Thanks, Johnny. Last night, the number 6 ranked Iowa women's basketball team was upset by number 7 Maryland 96-68 in front of over 9,000 fans.
We usually bring out the best in everybody's crowds. I really don't think it was a factor in our play, though. I think Maryland was a factor in our play. Maryland did a good job. The crowd was fine, but I'd rather play in front of a raucous crowd every day than in front of a dead arena.
Maryland went 14 for 26 from 3 and forced 24 turnovers, their 4th time forcing 20-plus turnovers this season. Caitlin Clark led the team in points with 18, which is the least amount she has had since being taken out of the game against Rutgers last Sunday. Despite the loss, Gabby Marshall dropped a season-best 5 3-pointers for 15 points. Iowa will look to rebound against number 2 Indiana this Sunday on College Game Day. And after a disappointing loss at Northwestern on Sunday, the Iowa men's basketball team continues its road trip as they head to Madison, Wisconsin to take on the Badgers later tonight. And although Wisconsin has been struggling lately, every road game is difficult, especially when you're playing in the Big Ten.
You know, we know what we're facing on Wednesday. Really good team on the road, another road atmosphere with a difficult opponent, and we're going to have to play better than we played today.
The Hawkeyes are currently in a 5-way tie for 4th place in the Big Ten standings and are hoping to secure a double bye in the upcoming Big Ten tournament in Chicago. If they want to make a run come March, they'll need to rely on their superstar Chris Murray. Murray's averaging 21 points per game, but in their previous game against Northwestern, he was held to just 14 points in 35 minutes of play. Tip-off is set for 9 p.m., and you can catch it all on the Big Ten Network. Wrestler Spencer Lee and basketball star Caitlin Clark sat down for an episode of GOAT Talk on Monday. They answered several questions from fans and let people know some quirky elements to their personality.
What's your playlist before a game, and do you have any favorite game day songs? Honestly, like, people will probably be surprised by this. Like, before games, I listen to like really chill music because like I'm already so amped up about the game. What's your walkout song?
We Will Rock You.
Oh yeah, and then everybody gets into it.
Yeah, well,
I remember that.
My dad is the one that wanted me to do it when I was a freshman because he wanted people to like, you know.
Yeah. No, I was doing it.
So,
I was at the Northwestern one. I was like, oh yeah, Spencer's last today. Let's go. And then pin. 20 seconds. Ooh, what would your teammates say is the weirdest thing about you?
How much I like anime. I'm like a super like nerd.
Oh my gosh.
I read books. I'm like a loner.
You
so
just
they make
do
fun
you.
of me. Yeah, they make fun of me.
That's what makes you great.
They're like Spencer, he's just watching TV, like watching anime or reading a book. That's what he's doing.
They would probably just say I'm like super goofy. Like I just make like, I don't know, jokes all the time. And I don't think people always understand that. Like when I'm off the court, like I understand like there's more to life than just basketball, and you like get that. Like there's more to life than wrestling. Like just understanding that and enjoying every single day. And like, as you know, college goes fast. Like it can't be all serious all the time, so.
Iowa Gymnastics is heading to Omaha for the Big 5 tournament. The Hawkeyes pulled a tough grouping as 3 out of the 4 teams they are facing are ranked in the top 25. The one team not ranked as high, Penn State, is no slouch either as they are 31st in the nation. But even with the strong competition, head coach Larissa Libby and her 20th ranked Gym Hawks are confident in their abilities.
Our division is hard. There's no question about it, and it's anybody's game. I feel like everybody's got to go to beam, and everybody's got to stay in bounds. So it just is really tough. But I also think that challenge is good for us. Like it helps us to rise.
Iowa takes the mats at 8 p.m. Friday, and fans can stream the meet on Big Ten Network. In national news, former Cleveland Brown Peyton Hillis finally returned to social media since being in critical condition. Back in January, Hillis saved his children from drowning in the Gulf of Mexico, but almost died in the process. He spent 2 weeks at Pensacola Baptist Hospital, dealing with several problems in lungs and kidneys, and had to be on a ventilator. Since then, however, he has felt a lot better, saying, quote, "I haven't taken any interviews on this because I'd like to keep my family out of the public eye because it was very traumatic for us, but I did want to come on here and show my appreciation for everyone who helped save my life and for all of your prayers and love and support. I left the hospital with no worries and concerns and should make 100% recovery. I'm a very lucky and blessed man. Yahweh has really blessed me, and I am very thankful." It's only a matter of time now until Hillis can return to coaching high school football back in his home state of Arkansas. And that's all for sports. Let's send it back to Johnny to wrap up the show.
Thanks, Sam. Before we wrap up, a new ingredient is coming to a new line of Starbucks drinks, olive oil. This line, starting in Italy cafes this week, will then make appearances globally later this year. The line includes specialty drinks like the Alato Latte, the Alato Ice Shaken Espresso, and the Alatte Golden Foam Cold Brew, each having a hint of extra virgin olive oil. Thank you for tuning in to DITV News and listening to KRUI 89.7 FM. Be sure to head over to thedailyiowan.com for all your latest news between Monday and Friday. And check out more of our content on thedailyiowan.com/DITV. For DITV News, I'm Johnny Valtman. Have a great day and stay safe with this extreme weather.